It is April 28th. I'm in the city of Rubizhne, and this is how a peaceful city, peaceful residential area are being shelled here today. As far as we understand, there will be no evacuation here today. We see a completely destroyed building, and now I will try to show you what the completely destroyed buildings look like. Everything is ruined by Russian troops. Burnt houses, damaged pharmacy and infrastructure destroyed by air raids. Now Rubizhne looks more like a ghost town than a residential area. You can now see what remains after the actions of the so-called liberators. Russian troops are shelling residential areas with Grad multiple launch rocket systems, using heavy artillery and mortars. And after a shell hits a shopping center or a residential building, all that is left of it is ruins.
The situation is getting worse. You can hear more and more shelling. There are almost no civilians here, but it seems that way only at first glance. In fact, there are many civilians, and they don't want to leave their apartments, their basements. This is incomprehensible to me, because, for example, there are about 40 people in the house where I live, including young people. I don't understand this at all. Now it should be realized that there are fewer and fewer evacuation opportunities here. The supply of humanitarian products will also come to an end.
More than 60% of Rubizhne is occupied by Russian troops. The Ukrainian military controls the outskirts of the city and the Pivdeny residential area. From there, the evacuation of the civilian population is carried out every other day. But today, it was once again disrupted.
Вот так сейчас оккупанты обстреливают.
This is how the Russian troops are now shelling the House of Culture in Rubizhne. We hear the work of heavy artillery. They are aiming at the area where we are.
And
at this time, there had to be an evacuation of the local population to more peaceful areas. As we understand, it will not be possible to take out people again because of such actions of the occupiers who want to free the Ukrainians from a calm and peaceful life. With targeted shelling, Russian mercenaries deprive the civilian population of the opportunity to leave this hell.
В Рубіжному зірвалася евакуація сьогодні.
In Rubizhne, the evacuation failed today. On the way to our humanitarian headquarters, the driver came under fire. He is alive but did not reach. Turned around. The shelling was conducted on the House of Culture, right at the point of evacuation. There is no logic here from the very beginning of the war. There are almost no surviving houses in this district in Rubizhne. Moreover, there were cases when we went and took bedridden patients from the yard, and after 2 or 3 days it was all destroyed. All the buildings.
We wanted to film the evacuation, but because the invaders were shelling Rubizhne, we were not able to do this, nor were people able to get to the evacuation bus. Once again, the invaders disrupt the evacuation from Rubizhne, preventing people from leaving for peaceful areas and living a quiet life. Despite the shelling, 27 people from Popasna, 36 from Lysychansk and 10 people from Severodonetsk were evacuated from the Luhansk region. But still, a lot of people remain in basements and shelters. There are now about 20,000 civilians in the bomb shelters of the Severodonetsk community. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Anastasiia Volkova, UATV News.